Yo, it's your boy, Ma K. Smith, also known as A-Kids. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, also known as the Truth Teller, a.k.a. the Wizards. We are talking about today, very excited today. We're talking about Victor Wembanyama and Nikola Jokic. We're talking about LeBron James and Drake's beef. We're also talking about Jimmy Butler as well. When we talked about Victor Wembanyama and we talk about his greatness, I made a tweet on Christmas saying how if you are a top 5 basketball player in the world, you better get on the call, talk to your front office, and make sure they're doing everything in their power to make sure you can compete for a championship, because in 2027 and beyond, we will be in the Victor Wembanyama era. When we talked about Wembanyama, we are seeing a player that we have never seen before. We are seeing a player that is a transcending talent. Watching him play watching Victor Wembanyama play must have been like how our grandparents and great-grandparents felt watching Wilt Chamberlain. I'm going to say that again. Watching Wembanyama play must have been like how old heads felt watching Wilt Chamberlain. It is something you have never seen before. The brother is about to turn 21. He's averaging 26 points, shooting 48% from the field, 36% from the three-point line, 10 rebounds per game, 4 blocks per game. He's about to turn 21. We're talking about a transcending talent. This league is going to be his league sooner rather than later. He's already right now, from a skill set and talent aspect, Victor Wembanyama is already right now a top 10 basketball player in the world. I know he hasn't been to the playoffs. I know he is still incredibly young, but from a skill set and talent perspective, what your eyes tell you, there is not 10 basketball players in this world that is better than Victor Wembanyama from a skill set and talent aspect. I'm not talking about overall. I'm talking about skill set and talent. And to be honest, what he's doing right now in the NBA, he's playing better than a lot of big men in his category. If we just want to keep it a bean, if we just want to keep it a buck. Now, I'm not saying that he's better overall, but this season he's having a better season than probably every other big man besides Nikola Jokic. And we just saw him go head-to-head, toe-to-toe with the best player in the world right now against Nikola Jokic. That game was a classic. If you didn't watch it, get on YouTube, find the stream, rewatch it, because Victor Wembanyama outplayed Nikola Jokic. And that's saying something when you're talking about outplaying the best player in the world. And it wasn't like Nikola Jokic wasn't dominating. It wasn't like Nikola Jokic wasn't producing. 41 points, 18 rebounds, 9 assists. People are going to talk about how he shot 15 for 36 from the field. That's no problem to me, because I always want my best players shooting the ball. And if not Nikola Jokic, then who? That's how I look at it. And Nikola Jokic has realized on this team in particular that the best shot is always when he's shooting the ball. And he just didn't make most of the shots that he normally tends to make. So I have no problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is how the Denver Nuggets fan base love to talk about Nikola Jokic and his greatness, which he is incredibly great. But they love to say that defense does not matter until you see in reality and you come face to face with a defensive player and a big man where defense actually does matter. When we see how Victor Wembanyama continues to alter shots, when we see him continue to block shots, when we see him find his way and really lock in on the perimeter when he gets to switch sometimes, even though that's the part of the defensive game that he needs to dramatically improve on. But defense will always matter, especially when you are 6'6" and above. I keep trying to tell people, defense and playing both sides of the ball, you cannot get away with being 6'5", 6'6", and not playing both sides of the ball, because you have the physical tools and make up the size and length to be able to affect that side of the ball, when in reality 80% of defense is effort, 20% is skill. A lot of times people just aren't using that effort when we talk about defense. But Victor Wembanyama, when we talk about, let me show you share my screen. Like it gets serious.
Murray, he's been clutch in his career. Hit a couple game winners.
And even this possession, when we talk about, we can't sit up and say Denver Nuggets fans are complaining, talking about they normally should have run the 2-game for Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray on the weak side, and then it clears off the rest of the side, and you do the pick and roll and pick and pop with those two. But if Nikola Jokic is the best offensive player, and some people say the best offensive player in the world in all time, that's not true. Don't get caught up in that sauce. He's one of the best offensive players we've ever seen in the game. He has a top 5 to 10 prime of all time. So he's incredibly great. But if he is as great as some people say he is, and says he's a better offensive player than Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant and Michael Jordan and LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, saying that, oh, well, they should have ran a 2-man game with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic in this possession. He got a one-on-one right here. Isolation. Get to work. Let's see what you got. But
against the Lakers in the playoffs last year,
it just ain't work. And then it was smart for the San Antonio Spurs to send a double.
It's Jokic.
And then if you look at Victor Wembanyama, his size, his lift, he's going to alter this shot. He's going to make this difficult, which forces Nikola Jokic to pass out.
Had to pass out, and he threw it away. Vassell with the steal. 2 seconds, and he puts it down. Porter for the tie.
And that's why, as great as Nikola Jokic is, I always say this. In the playoffs, in late game situations, Nikola Jokic is similar to LeBron James. They always want to make the right play. But when you make Nikola Jokic a scorer in these moments, not saying he's not capable of making clutch shots and hitting clutch shots, because he has done it before, but he's more wired to be a playmaker and make the right play than to be a scorer. So we can't sit up and have Denver Nuggets fans saying one aspect that Nikola Jokic is the greatest offensive player of all time. Then we hear them complain about, well, why would they run an isolation at the free throw line for Nikola Jokic and not a 2-man game? If he is as great as people say he is, that's what the best players in the world, the best offensive players in the world, are able to do when we talk about isolation, game on the line, hit those key shots. But it was a great game. It was an exciting game. Victor Wembanyama is here. He is the truth. He is something we never seen before. He's a transcendent talent. And the San Antonio Spurs got David Robinson. They got Tim Duncan. And now they got Victor Wembanyama. It is special. What do your eyes tell you? My eyes tell me that he's a top 10 most skilled and talented player in the game right now. And even though he's having a better regular season than every big man right now, than every big man outside of Nikola Jokic, I still don't think he's better than some of the other big mans overall. But this season, he's extremely dominating on both sides of the ball. He's incredibly skilled. And we talk about the greatest offensive players of all time, he has a chance. And the thing about Victor Wembanyama is he's shooting 48% from the field, and he's 7'5". That's the thing. He's kind of taking the Kevin Durant route for us, like being a true Kevin Durant disciple, kind of playing like Kevin Durant. He wants to shoot perimeter shots. He hasn't even unlocked and understood, like, yo, I really can get in the paint, in the post, and really score at will anytime I want. But that comes with, like, being comfortable with the back to the basket game, being comfortable with taking more contact and getting physical and things of that nature, which he's not comfortable in doing yet. And that comes with over the course of his career, where he's going to get stronger. He's going to put on more muscle mass, and those things are going. And he's also going to continue to develop and become a better 3-level scorer. And this is just the worst version we're ever going to see. At 20 years old, he's about to turn 21. This is the worst version of Victor Wembanyama we're ever going to see. And that worst version right now is, from a talent and skill set perspective, a top 10 basketball player in the world, averaging 26 points, 10 rebounds, shooting 48% for the field, 36% for the three-point line, 4 blocks right now. This is the worst version of Victor Wembanyama we're going to see. God, good luck. Good luck. This era is about to be his. So, and let's switch gears real quick. Because he's special. I mean, it's like you're lost for words when you talk about Victor Wembanyama. When you talk about his greatness, when you talk about everything that he's doing on the basketball court, it's like a loss for words. I mean, I have never seen a basketball player. I've never seen a basketball player like him before. Well, let's switch gears. Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's at it again. So here's the thing about Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. We have the Heat fan base is fulminating about Jimmy Butler. So half the Heat fan base is fulminating about Jimmy Butler. The other half about Pat Riley. So here's my point of view on this situation. Here's the truth teller. Here's the Wizards' point of view. When we talk about Pat Riley, when we talk about Jimmy Butler, I'm going to side with Jimmy Butler because Pat Riley has pushed out LeBron James. He made a press conference about LeBron James, announced to the world he had a daughter coming, talked about all these things about LeBron James, pushed LeBron James away. He pushed the greatest player in Miami Heat history away over $2 million. Pushing away, he went to Chicago. Now he's pushing out Jimmy Butler, who has taken the Miami Heat franchise from the grave and back into prominence. He's pushing Jimmy Butler away as well. Because the fact of the matter is, all he had to do was pay Jimmy Butler. He did not have to come out and make a press conference and say the things that he said about Jimmy Butler and basically tell him to stick to basketball and he needs to play on the court. All he had to do was pay the man because at the end of the day, Jimmy Butler wanted to retire as a Miami Heat. He just wanted he wanted his contract to stay what it is and just a 2-year contract extension, which will allow Jimmy Butler to retire as a Miami Heat. But instead, Pat Riley in the front office decided not to do that and decided not to pay Jimmy Butler. And people are going to say, well, this is all over money. You damn right it's all over money. Because there was no hesitation when you paid Hassan Whiteside $98 million. There was no hesitation when you paid Tyler Johnson, what was it, $50 million. There was no hesitation when you paid Deion Waiters $45 million. There's no hesitation when you paid Kyle Lowry $85 million. But you don't want to extend Jimmy Butler, that player that brought your franchise to 2 NBA finals. He brought your franchise to more NBA finals as the number 1 option than the greatest franchise player in Miami Heat history, even though he did not win. But what are we talking about? It's like, what are we talking about? And you want to get into a who got the biggest ball contest, all because you don't want to pay him, and he brought your organization back from the dead? And then you can't even salvage the relationship because you decide to suspend him for 7 games. So now you have to trade him, and he comes out and he really announces that he wants a trade now, and you suspend him for 7 games. So now you can't even salvage the relationship to possibly just like see if you could get another big fish to come and join with Jimmy Butler, possibly save this season, possibly let him walk and let him decline his player option, and see if other teams are going to pay for his services, and then you absorb that cap space. But now you can't even do that. So now you're going to be forced to trade Jimmy Butler. And you call yourself a world-class organization, but you beef with all your franchise star players that you've had. You beef with LeBron James. You beef with Dwayne Wade. You beef with Jimmy Butler. But you're a world-class organization. And then Jimmy Butler, in the 5 years that he's been with the Miami Heat, he did not get the help that he deserves, but you call yourself a world-class organization. You rather beef with your star players, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Jimmy Butler. You rather beef with them and not beef with your rivals, because your rivals getting better. All your rivals got better. We saw that the Kyrie Irving got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. That's a Miami Heat rival. We saw Drew Holiday get traded to the Boston Celtics. That's a Miami Heat rival. We saw Damian Lillard get traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's a Miami Heat rival. You'd rather beef with your franchise players instead of your rivals. but you call yourself a world-class organization. At this point right now, Heat culture is nothing but a pyramid scheme. That's what it is. And good luck with possibly interest with having, they want to trade Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors, and maybe he said they want Jonathan Kuminga. Good luck with a core of Jonathan Kuminga, Tyler Hero, and Bam Adebayo being your 3 best basketball players in your core. That ain't getting it done. Good luck with Tyler Hero having to go out and be the number 1 best player for your team. That ain't getting it done. What are we doing? What are we thinking? And even that situation with holding on for Tyler Hero, who's playing at an all-star caliber level right now, but like he was part of the reason them holding on to him. It's part of the reason why a lot of the trades that they could have got or could have been active in, they didn't do, or they didn't have a player receive to come back because they didn't want to trade Tyler Hero. It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. I'm sorry, but it just makes no sense. This franchise, it makes no sense. But last but not least, we're talking about LeBron James and Drake. Basically, Drake came out with a new track. I can't play it because it's going to get copyright. It's already got taken down on YouTube. Drake comes out with a track called the Fighting Irish Freestyle. So that means it's definitely about LeBron James. We know that LeBron James and Drake have a relationship. They're supposed to be brothers. We know that Drake has LeBron James tatted on his somewhere on his body. And people say that's weird and stuff like that. I can't tell a grown man or grown woman, whatever they want to do with their body, that's their prerogative. But the fact of the matter is people got to understand that we don't know these people, but if they have a relationship and they're brothers and they're friends, you will feel some type of way if you put yourself in Drake's shoes where your brother, your friend is pouncing along, even though LeBron James is a hip-hop head. He's a hip-hop historian. He loves hip-hop. He loves music. But going to the pop-up, getting caught on camera, singing Not Like Us, and Stephen Curry is saying like, yo, is there any other song we can play? And LeBron James like, oh, I love this song. I like this song. Like, it's in the lyrics within the song is calling Drake a you know what. So if Drake feels like that's weird, if Drake feels like, yo, you're not really my friend, or you're not, our relationship as strong as what I thought it was, you cannot fault him for that. Because I've been in situations where you would think if you my homie, you my dog, and some shit going on that's putting me in a bad light or I'm uncomfortable with, and you leave me out to dry, or you kind of going with the wave, even though it's music, so it's a different context, most people will feel some type of way. And Drake coming out spinning on bars, he talking about hope we had to put your public reputation in damage. Oh, he coming out saying some stuff. And it's very interesting. And he just like he's spinning the truth, talking about the gimmicks. He was at the Hamptons and it was cold. He gave him a cold shoulder. And it's some real bars that he's kind of saying. And I understand how he feels. I understand why he feels that way. Because at the end of the day, he's hurt. I mean, as we can call it what it is, he's hurt. And most people will be hurt, and that's the human side of things. And that's why we love music, and that's why we love expression and poetry and art. And even on the basketball court, the way they handle the ball, the creativity and things of that nature, watching certain players like SGA and Kyrie Irving, it's like a canvas they're painting with the moves and the things that they're doing. So I can understand Drake's perspective on how he feels. And I feel like most people had to kind of put themselves in another person's shoes, because of the fact of the matter is, if somebody is lying on me and you're siding with that person, or all these bars that this person is directed and saying things based on and tweeting the lines based on their relationship that they have and saying them stay away, yo, and LeBron keep the family away, all these type of things like that, it's just like, it puts you in a a weird position, but at the end of the day, if you're more close with this one particular person, that's your brother, that's your dog, and y'all been on the shop talking about y'all relationship, how y'all been rocking and brothers since 17, 18 years old, and Drake talking about how he used to call and check up on my child, all these different things. And of course, some friendships end, some of course relationships end, and things of that nature. But I can understand from Drake's perspective, like, yo, what we doing here? This kind of different. This kind of wild. Like, are you my brother? Or are you not my brother? So I get it. I really get it. But the public reaction to Drake right now is always going to be negative, because it's cool to hate Drake. And it's the new song. Look at the tweets. He been watching LeBron sing and dance to music for the sidelines. Let me mute that because I don't want to get copyright. So it's like, what's the point of dissing someone that doesn't rap? Just like being in the middle of a fight that you start getting mad at the cameraman. So everybody, they gonna take shots at Drake in the comments and stuff like that, but you have to take out the rap aspect and understand that they were brothers, they are friends. It's like when people were getting upset. It's like when people were getting upset with LeBron James when he won the 2020 NBA championship in the same year that Kobe Bryant died. And a lot of Kobe fans and stans, they wanted LeBron James to come out and say something about Kobe Bryant once he received that championship. And he didn't do that. And it was like they were online and they were talking about, well, he should have said something about Kobe. He should have said something about Kobe, this and that. And it's just like, y'all don't know these people. And LeBron James and Kobe Bryant had a serious relationship with each other. They were brothers. They had documentaries. They went to battle on the basketball court. Like, we got LeBron James talking about Kobe Bryant in a beautiful light. We got Kobe Bryant's last tweet acknowledging and talking about LeBron James. So fans got to understand, like, you don't know these people in the extent of their relationship, and when their relationship is public, it's like you can't just always come out and say things like, oh, this should have happened, that should have happened, and why is he doing this? Because friendships, relationships, just like normal people, they grow, people go their separate ways. And certain things happens where relationships can just end. So I use that to say, it's just like, we don't know these people. So people are so quick to judge. But at the same time, if they're brothers, if they're friends, you don't know how a person is feeling. Just like LeBron James. LeBron James was crying when Kobe Bryant, we saw him coming off the airplane. Like, they actually knew people. We're fans. We're fans of Drake. We're fans of Kendrick. We're fans of LeBron. Like, these people know each other. So it's personal. It is personal. It is hurt. It is like a lot of feelings involved when you know these people. So people are quick to say what another person should have did, or why they reacting that way, or what they should have said. We don't know these people. These people actually know these people. They actually have a relationship. Like, we have to put things in perspective. So from Drake's standpoint, he has a relationship with LeBron James. He's mentioned that it's his brother. He's mentioned that it's his homie, that is his dog. So he's, of course, when he's expressing these things and he's saying all these things, it's like, nah, this ain't, don't come up to me with that, oh, it's all love, fam. It ain't love. Because if it was love, you would be on, not necessarily being on my side, but if it was love, you wouldn't be moving how you would be moving if you're my brother, if you're my homie. And that goes for all relationships. Sometimes you got to cut ties with people. Now, I'm not saying LeBron James is wrong. I'm not saying LeBron James did anything and can't enjoy Kendrick Lamar's music, because he's always enjoying Kendrick Lamar's music. LeBron James is a hip-hop historian. But I also am not going to sit up and say that how Drake feels isn't valid, especially if they have a relationship together. And people are going to make fun of, like, oh, Drake got the tattoo, not LeBron, all these things like that. And like I said, I can't tell a man or a woman what they can do with their body. That is their choice. But the extent of the whole situation is that they actually know each other. They actually had a relationship. They actually were friends. They actually were homies. And I don't know if they still are. I don't know. I don't know these two at all. But I'm saying people are quick to judge and people are quick to say, well, that ain't really it. And he shouldn't have said that, or why he acting that way. These people actually know each other. Just like regular humans have friendships as well. They're just not in a public light. And you may feel something if your friend is moving a certain way, or they may feel something if you move in a certain way, and you're supposed to be close. That's all I'm saying. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Mike K. Smith, also known as A-Kiss. Subscribe. Follow me on A-Kiss NBA on all the social media platforms. Always talking to WNBA, always talking to NBA. Always remember, faith without works is dead. And also trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean out into your own understanding. And always acknowledge him, and he will direct y'all path. Hope y'all stay blessed. Enjoy y'all Saturday, man. I'm gone. I'm out. Peace.